there aren't enough roles for women of your age. And looking at you sitting there, that's
interesting.
that's rubbish. Look at you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
OK, quantify.
It's fine. Well, it's fine if you want to play the shopkeeper at the end of the road that has 3 lines. But if you want something that's challenging and interesting, no, they're not there.
But
not
do you feel defined by your age?
In what way?
Well, do you feel other people define you by your age? Oh, Amanda Redman, she's Xbox.
In terms of my industry,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yes,
Despite the fact that you look incredibly amazing, that you're confident, you're
That's
talented.
And you're
very
brilliant,
nice of you to say
and you're
so,
brilliant
but-
at your job.
Thank you very much. It's very nice. But I think it's the number. I think the number is the thing that's important.
But do you think if you make more of a point of that and keep mentioning your number and that is
Like
limiting
you are.
We're just sort of going off the back of how you feel. Do you think that maybe you should just embrace how amazing you look, not for your age, but just you're a woman of an older generation, but you look incredible and you are a fantastic actress. And why should that?
Thank you. I think that women of all ages are really interesting for all sorts of different reasons, and I think that, you don't get to 50 and suddenly become dull and boring.
No.
In fact, I think what happens...
much better.
Look at your exercise regime. I mean, I can't keep up with how fit you are. I mean, that's a credit
neither
to
can
you.
I. I'm exhausted.
Do you really do 2 hours
A day?
Four times a day. 4 times a week.
in the gym 4 times a week?
Wow.
Fantastic.
Do you enjoy it, or do you do
I
it?
hate every minute of it.
How much of that is coffee time? Or can you do it green
No,
juice?
I'm quite good. No, I'm quite good. I am quite good, actually. Once I get there, I have to
Yeah,
just do
getting
it.
there, isn't it?
Otherwise, I'd make every excuse under the sun.
Fair play to you,
You know,
for,
well,
for doing it.
you've got a metabolism like mine. You have to.
work.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your latest trip to Nepal. How did that come about? How did you get involved?
Well, I've been an ambassador for World Vision since '97, and they asked me to go out to Nepal. So 9,000 people were killed, 23,000 were injured.
Already a very poor country.
Already a poor country. The infrastructure,
Always
of
the
course,
case,
isn't
isn't it?
very
So
good.
sad.
And because of the terrain, I mean, a lot of it's the Himalayas, so it's very difficult to get aid relief to them. And it's just so sad. And also what struck me was this incredible positivity, which I think is amazing. You know, they kept smiling. Whilst they were talking and telling me stories, they were crying, but smiling.
You get to meet real people in that situation. Obviously, when something like that is reported, the scale of it is just absolutely overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it's a year on, and the news media tends to move on, unfortunately. These countries have to recover. But you must have spoken to people with real lives and real situations, and that gives you a completely different understanding, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does.
So who did you speak to, and what did they tell you about life now?
I spoke to lots of people, but the people that stick out for me is that there was a gentleman, a middle-aged gentleman, who'd lost his wife in the earthquake, and his home, and his livelihood, absolutely everything. And he was speaking in a really dignified way, and he was the person who was talking to me very calmly, but with tears pouring down his face. And then he held out his hand and he said, "It's been lovely to meet you." My heart broke. And then a lovely young girl with 2 children, 2 little girls, and her husband left her after their house was devastated, and they now sleep in the chicken coop.
So how are the funds actually helping the people in Nepal now?
So a year on, a lot of relief has indeed reached the people it should reach, but you're still talking millions. You're still talking millions because it is a country with not a great infrastructure. That's the point.
And also tourism was one of its major income generators, and that's kind of gone. So it's really difficult for them to build that economy again, isn't it?
And there was a fuel crisis as well, which stopped aid getting over.
And we are talking about the age of men's pants. But it just shows you the contrast, doesn't it, between the life that we live here and the life that is. But let's talk about men's pants.
Your husband's pants in good order?
I make sure they are.
Yes. How do you do that? Tell me.
Well, if there are any with any holes in, they get chucked away, and I'm... In his stocking every Christmas, there's a whole load of
This
them.
sounds as if there's a regular audit of his underwear drawer.
I think that's quite a normal thing. I think there's probably only about 80% of men. It's the women that sort their knicker drawer
Maybe
out.
that's why on Father's Day, guys always get socks and pants.
Yeah.
They wouldn't
There you
think
go.
to get
Otherwise
them
they wouldn't get
on their own.
It's true.
To be sure.
I like my man to look after his own pants. Yeah. Call me crazy.
Okay.
You deal with them, love.
Now,
Did you hear our topic earlier about, we were talking about whether you should ever tell a friend whether their kid is...
I did,
is-
yeah.
Well, did you? Your daughter's now 28, is that right?
Emily, yes.
Emily.
Hello, Emily. She
Would-
wanted me to say hello. Hello.
Would you do the same thing with boyfriends if needs be?
Hello, Emily.
Emily, just leave the room just for a second.
Yes, I have done that.
Oh, have you?
Yes, I have done that. And I have got one of those faces, apparently, that it's impossible to hide my feelings.
You're an actress, for God's sake.
You know, so I keep the smile on like that. She knows my eyes have gone. And yeah, I find that quite hard, especially if she really wants me to like.
Yeah.
You know, this is in the past. She's got a lovely boyfriend now, but boyfriends in the past, I hasten to add. But when
It's
she
all
was
for your
when
own
she was
good,
little, it was
if you're
hard
watching.
with children that I thought were
Difficult.
brats.
Yeah.
Just click here to watch more interviews with a whole range of famous faces. And click here to subscribe. It's free, so you'd be silly not to, really.
People would say to me, well, do you hang out together? I thought, well, I've just spent 19 hours with them. You know, at the time I was married, I would get up, it would be dark. I'd get home, it'd be dark. I would leave in the morning, he'd be asleep. I'd get back, he'd be asleep. We're no longer married.